Good morning, it's Sheila from She's a Sassy Lady, and I'm really excited. I want to share what I'm doing with you. I'm getting ready for another card party, and I'm going to do a slider card. And you know what I did is I kind of went with my slider that I had and adjusted everything to it. So I'm going to have to find the link for the slider and then go from there. The only thing is I made it so that I can make 10 to 12 cards. Now I want to show you what colors I chose. This is so cool. Now this is the base of the card. It's going to be this wonderful, wonderful peach color. And what I did is I chose this color and then took the colors from that to be able to show you what I was going to do. Now this is going to be the front of the card, this here. Then this is the slider portion, and it matches that fleck of orange that's in there. There's a little bit of orange in that. See right here, the dark orange? And that's going to be the little slider portion of the card. Okay, so we have the orange, so we've got those three. Okay, so it's, well, actually it's going to sit like this. This is going to be the bottom. And then this is going to be on top, and then this is going to be on top of that, and then we will have a little like a scallop, and that will be in green so that it looks like kind of like a leaf. And then the yellow bee, and that will be that. I will use white for the bee's wings, and then I'll put see how I've got the bee here? I'll do the bee in white, cut the whole thing out in white, and I suppose I should zoom in on this so you can see a little bit. I was just at Joann's, and I've got both of the projects that I'm going to be doing. Let me pull this one aside so I don't confuse you. Okay, now let's zoom in a little bit more. Okay, see the little bees right here, their wings? I'm going to put glossy accents on the wings, and then I've got some sprinkles, which is Stamps of Life, their new glitter that they have out, and it's real chunky, although to be honest with you, my Martha Stewart I think is about the same. I thought this was bigger, and it's not. So anyway, it's wonderful, and I love it, so I'm going to use it. And then the bee itself is on my next sheet, and I'm going to cut half of it out with the yellow sheet that's right there, and the other I've got some black scraps, and I'll just use that. And the words, I will have enough. I hope I have enough. Oh yes, I'll have enough to do that, but I'm really tempted to stamp, but I think I'm going to use the Celebrate in orange and the Happy Birthday also in orange, and then it'll fit on top of this. But it's possible that I don't. It's very possible that I don't. See, I think it would show up on there very nice. Don't you? See how that looks? So they're all nice pastel colors. And the slider I already showed you. The slider I actually have to cut out a whole bunch of times because I can only, the way I've got it laid out on my screen, I can only do 4 at a time, or actually 2 at a time, because you do these 2 up and you put them together so that they're very thick so that it slides easily. Okay, so that's that. Now I also am doing another card, and let me open that one. Open, and it's A2 wide. Let's get to my A2 wide. A2 wide, and it's the female bear. Okay, and okay, A2 wide, female bear, right here. Now that's bear. The card itself. Let's click. There's the card. Now the card base, I'm going to make this wonderful color. Look at this color. Isn't this awesome? Look at that. Big flowers. So that's with the bear card, and I'm going to zoom out so you can see this again. Isn't that awesome? Okay. That's the base of the card, and it'll be in all these wonderful flowers. Then the bear itself, the bear itself, and I'm going to have to use a dark brown, and I think I have a dark brown because I didn't buy, no, here we go, here we go, here we go. No, I've got it. I'm going to do the bear in this color. And then the bear parts, you know, let me swing by here and show you again. Oh, the hat. The hat is going to be this color here, which kind of matches this color in this flower. Look at that. See that? Okay. But there's parts. I've got the tan bear. That's the tan bear. And that's the light color that you see right there. And that's the light part of the bear. And then the bear parts. I've got parts right here. Is that, and it's going to do those like that. It's going to do the mouth and the belly in the light color. So the bears actually, I went with a lighter bear. I wanted a lighter bear since the card was kind of dark, like that. It's going to be those 3 shades right there is the bear. Those 3 shades, see, right here. And that'll be on the base of the card. And then the bear's hat. And then a little flower on the hat, that color. So that's what I was doing today. I went out shopping. Now I'm going to spend a lot of time just cutting. Now I have to tell you, and I want to swing back on this again, zoom in a little bit. I have to tell you, on the bear I'm going to cut out completely on my gypsy. But on the base of the card, and let's go open it up again. And I want 5x7 B slider card. Look at this. I've got this on there to actually cut out on my gypsy to put it on the machine. But you know what? I'm not going to do that. I've got a wonderful, wonderful cutter, and I'm just going to hand cut out a 10 by 7 inches across and then score it to a 5x7 and have that. And that will be the base of my card. Now I will cut out the B, I'll cut out the words, I'll cut out the slider, I'll cut out everything else on that is going to be cut except the base of the card. And then I'm actually going to take this front of the card here, this color that you see here, and I'm going to cut that where again I have it on layer 6, I think it is. No, it's the last layer. Sorry, layer 7. I've got the 2 little sheets to cut out on the gypsy, and what I'm going to do, instead of doing that and sliding it in, I'm going to use my cutter and cut these out so that it'll fit over the top of that very easily, and it'll be nice. Isn't that paper beautiful? I just love that color. And I'm sure it's going to make a wonderful slider card. So, at any rate, I've got a lot of cutting out to do, so I'm going to leave you. I'm not going to do a Gypsy Made Simple off of the B card because I've already done it on another card, and what I'm going to do is just rerun that video for you so that you can see it. But this is the shopping, and then I'll rerun the video, and then I'll have a third video of me putting this card together. So that should do it. Hopefully, I think I've got a card. I may not have a card of the video, the slider, come to think of it, because it was a very difficult one, and I didn't know whether I could explain it or not. And where I had the hard time, I mean, everything else is explanatory on this because all you're doing is making multiple parts. The only thing is the slider, and let me show you the slider. I could not find a frame that would fit exactly. And let's go in and let me tell you what I did so that you can make a slider. What I did is I measured out exactly what I wanted on the front of the card. Okay? And then, and it looks like, well, wait a minute, let me click on one. It is 7 inches wide. Hold on. It's 6.5 inches wide. And it's 2.5 inches high. Okay? Each one of the slider portions, the little portion that it's going to slide across, is 6.5 by 2.5. But then I took and I did a little piece inside of that. See this little piece inside of there? And that I did 5.3 by 0.55, okay? And then I centered it in between there. After I did that, I copied it and made as many on the page as I could. And you can't move them around. I mean, you can group it, but if you go to, and I did group them, but if you go to move them around, what happens is that one of the boxes moves and the other box doesn't move, and it's a big pain. And so what I did is once I got it, I just copied and pasted so that I had 4 of them, and that's how I'm cutting them. And it's very simple to do, but you have to do that. It's kind of like making my own frame, because let me show you. I'll go to the advanced key. Look, this shows you what cuts. Every place that it's red is what cuts. And you can see it's cutting out the inside of each one of those. So that's what's going to cut on my Gypsy. And I will have to, I'm doing 12 cards, so I'll have to run it through my machine 6 times to get it. It's a fast cut, really a fast cut, and it works great. But every time I make one of the slider cards, I keep redoing over what I did so that I have it. And all I do, and let me go see, all I do is I go and I make all the little parts. And I keep let me get one of these. You'll need the measurement on one of these. These are 2.85 circle, 2.85 around. I mean, and then from there, what I did is I fit my little art piece, whatever it may be. And when I cut these, I'm going to cut these before I cut my bee, because if I get into trouble, I'm actually going to use the little bees from, if it doesn't turn properly, I'm going to use the little bees, because what you want is something that's kind of round. And what you have to do when you go to put the bee together is you're going to have to slide it so that that bee, the total bee, is centered in that circle so that it rolls properly, okay? And I think I looked at that bee and I looked at that bee, and I think it's going to run, and let me go back one more screen so I can show you. See how it looks like it's going to, because it looks kind of round in itself, and it looks like it's going to turn properly. So I think I'm going to be good with this bee. Each one of my bees is 239, so 2.39 or 2.4 on it. So actually what it is the height is 2.25. So if you do a height of 2.25, your bee is going to fit. And on that little circle part that's going to go around and around and around on your slider, okay? So I am dying to see if any of you put together a slider. You have to let me know whether you got one done, and I will make this file available. But again, I want to remind you that my base of it, this one, I am not going to cut, because I am going to cut it by hand. And then also this layer 7, I have 2 boxes that are 2 separate sizes. And the reason why I have them 2 separate sizes, one is the colored box, one is the white box, so that if I want, depending on how dark my base color of my paper is, I can have a white sentiment area. In this case, it's very light. I don't know if I'm going to do the white, and if I decide to, I'm going to cut it by hand. But if you like to put everything on your Gypsy, God bless, you'll have the file to be able to do it, okay? Thank you so much for joining me, and just stay tuned and watch the next video as we put it together. I hope to have this out by this Saturday, but it may be that I don't have it, so we'll just have to wait and see, because this is a huge project, because I'm cutting out 12 cards. Thank you. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you in a little bit. Bye now. Good morning, it's Sheila from She's a Sassy Lady, and excuse the noise, but that's my expression. It's got to be cutting the words out to that. I forgot to cut that last night. At any rate, I am trying something. This is the orange paper that I'm using for the slider, you know, and I've got all my sliders cut out. And what I was doing was I was testing, because I want to put the little bee twirly thing that's on Stamps of Life. It's, I think it's called Be For Me. Yeah, Be For Me. And I got their avocado, or artichoke, excuse me, it's artichoke color out. And I put it on the orange, and look at it, it's an absolute perfect color for it. So I'm going to do that. I did a little test, and now each one of these, I've actually got 2 for each one, and they got to go back to back like that. But I am going to stamp these, at least attempt to stamp them. And I think I'm going to do, I seem to do, and I put a piece of paper underneath this, and ooh, I forgot about something. The secret weapon, you need a stamp pad underneath, or a mat underneath it so it stamps a little better. Now, we're going to get this exactly where we want it. And push it down. And you see that? Let's see how it looks when it finishes. Oh, I think that turned out great. Look at that. And it looks like the bee is flying through there. So this will actually be my slider, and the bee will go running around, and you wait till you see the bee. It's so cute. It's going to look like this. Here's the green that's going to go through, and that's going to roll around. And look at the bee. Can you stand it? Look at this. Oh, I'm going to bring it up to you a little bit. I use glitter on the wings, and look at how pretty that is. And then I just used a little bead for its eye. And all I did was take the white paper and I put glossy accents. I use glossy accents, or Close to My Heart has their own brand, and Stampin' Up! Has their own brand too. But use the glossy accents, put that on, and then use your glitter, and then push it on. Just dab it so it pushes on there, and then let it dry. And look at how cute that looks. And can you see that bee just going around and around on there? Turning around, it's going to just turn. It's going to be as cute as can be. No pun intended. So I just want to stamp all these, and I think it's going to turn out great, don't you? Wait till you see. What a project. I am actually making 10 cards. I've got everything cut for 12 cards except the base of my paper. I'm going to have to either use a different base that I have here at home, because I only bought 10 sheets. I don't know what I was thinking. And then, but it's all set for the card party. I mean, I'm good to go on all those. So I'm going to bring this one down a little bit, kind of angle it there like that. Oh, I like that one. That one's really nice. So I have 12 of these to do, which is fine. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to get stamping this, and I'll be back to you in a little bit.